Let me tell you something I have learned over the years. When you reach 70, people start looking at you differently. They assume you're slowing down. They think your body is stiff, your mind is foggy, and your reflexes are shot. But let me ask you a question. Have you ever dropped something, maybe your keys or a cup, and caught it before it hit the ground? If you have, let me tell you, that is not just luck. That is proof that your brain is still sharp. I know what you might be thinking. Catching something before it falls? That does not mean much, but it does. That split-second reaction is a sign that your brain and body are still working together in harmony. When your reflexes are quick, it means your brain is processing information fast. It is recognizing a problem, sending signals to your muscles, and getting your hand to move before you even think about it. That is not just good luck. That is a brain that is still firing on all cylinders. Now, I want you to think back to when you were young. Remember when you used to play sports or ride a bike? Maybe you played catch with your kids or dodged a ball in the backyard. Back then, your reflexes were sharp because you were always moving. You were reacting without thinking. You did not hesitate. That was your brain in its prime. But here's the thing no one tells you. If you still have that kind of reflex at 70, you have not lost that sharpness. You have held on to something precious. Most people believe that getting older means getting slower. They expect their minds to weaken. They accept forgetfulness, confusion, and hesitation as part of aging. But that is not the full story. Your brain is like a muscle. If you use it, it stays strong. If you challenge it, it keeps growing. The moment you stop pushing it, that is when it starts to decline. So if you are still catching things before they fall, that means you have been keeping your brain active in ways you might not even realize. You see, reflexes are not just about your hands moving fast. They are about your brain recognizing danger and acting before you even have time to think. That kind of reaction time means your neural pathways are still strong. It means your brain is still quick on its feet. And that is a gift. It is something most people do not have once they reach a certain age. I will tell you a little story. A few months ago, I was sitting on my porch drinking a cup of coffee. My grandson, a boy full of energy, ran past me and knocked my cup right out of my hand. Before I even knew what was happening, I had caught it midair. Not a single drop spilled. My grandson's eyes went wide. He laughed and said, "Grandpa, how did you do that?" And I laughed right back because, to be honest, I did not even think about it. My body just reacted. That is when I realized something. I may be old, but my brain is still as sharp as ever. That kind of quick reflex does not come from luck. It comes from years of keeping my mind and body active. I have spent my life reading, learning new things, and staying curious. I have never let myself sit around and waste away. I take walks. I play games that make me think. I stay engaged in conversations that challenge my mind. And that is what keeps me sharp. That is what keeps my reflexes quick. Now, I know some people might feel discouraged. Maybe you have noticed yourself hesitating more. Maybe you feel like your reactions are slower than they used to be. But let me tell you something important. It is never too late to work on this. Your brain is always capable of improvement. If you want to keep your reflexes sharp, you have to keep challenging your mind. Play chess. Do crossword puzzles. Learn a new skill. Get out there and stay active. The more you engage with the world, the more you train your brain to react quickly. Some people believe that once you reach a certain age, you cannot change anything. That is nonsense. I have seen people in their 70s and 80s pick up new hobbies, learn new languages, and even start exercising for the first time in their lives. And you know what happens? Their minds get sharper. Their reflexes improve. They start reacting faster to the world around them. I will tell you something else. Having quick reflexes at 70 is not just about impressing your grandkids. It is about independence. It is about confidence. When you have strong reflexes, you're less likely to fall. You are more likely to catch yourself if you trip. You are more likely to react in time to avoid accidents. That is what keeps you living life on your own terms. That is what keeps you from depending on others before your time. And here is the truth most people do not talk about. The brain does not have to deteriorate as you age. Yes, things change. Yes, you might not be as fast as you were at 20. But if you keep your mind active, if you keep moving, if you keep challenging yourself, your brain will stay strong. Those quick reflexes are proof of that. They are proof that you have been taking care of yourself in ways that truly matter. Now, I want you to think about your own reflexes. The next time something slips out of your hand, pay attention. Do you catch it before it hits the ground? If you do, take a moment to appreciate what that means. It means your brain is still working beautifully. It means your body and mind are still connected. And if you find that your reflexes are not as quick as they used to be, do not be discouraged. You can work on it. You can improve it. Every little thing you do to challenge your mind helps. The truth is, age is just a number. What really matters is how you live. If you keep learning, keep moving, and keep engaging with the world, you will stay sharp. And if you still have that quick reflex at 70, then you are proof that aging does not have to mean decline. It means you have done something right. It means your brain is still in great shape. And that, my friend, is something to be proud of. Now, let's clear some common questions. Can technology, such as brain training apps or virtual reality simulations, effectively enhance reflexes and brain response time? I have seen a lot of changes in my lifetime. I remember a time when the only way to keep your mind sharp was to read books, play chess, or have long conversations with people who challenge your thinking. Back then, if you wanted to keep your reflexes quick, you did things like play sports, work with your hands, or simply stay active in the world around you. But now, everywhere I look, I see people staring at screens, tapping their fingers on phones, and using all sorts of technology that claims to keep their minds young and their reflexes sharp. And that got me thinking, can technology really help us maintain quick reflexes and a sharp brain as we get older? Or is it just another distraction that makes us feel like we are doing something useful when we are really not? Now, I will be the first to admit that I was skeptical when I first heard about brain training apps and virtual reality simulations. When I was growing up, the idea that a machine could help your brain stay sharp would have sounded ridiculous. We believed that you had to challenge yourself in real life. You had to read books that made you think. You had to play games that required strategy. You had to engage with people, solve problems, and keep your body moving. That was how you kept your reflexes strong. But times have changed, and now people say that these new technologies can do the same thing, maybe even better. So I decided to take a closer look. I have seen plenty of people using brain training apps. They sit there, staring at their screens, tapping on little puzzles, memorizing patterns, solving quick math problems, or reacting to flashing lights. These apps promise that they can keep your brain sharp by challenging your memory, problem-solving skills, and reaction time. I have tried a few of them myself, and I will tell you, some of them are surprisingly difficult. They make you think fast. They make you react quickly. And I will admit, after playing some of those games, I could feel my mind working in a way that reminded me of when I used to play chess with my old friends or try to beat my grandson at cards. But here's the thing. Does that kind of training actually translate into real-life reflexes? That is the big question. It is one thing to tap a screen quickly when a light flashes. It is another thing entirely to react in the real world when something unexpected happens. And I think that is where some of these brain training apps fall short. They keep you engaged, and they definitely make you think. But unless you're using those skills outside of the app in real-life situations, I'm not sure they do much for your reflexes in the long run. Now, virtual reality is a whole different story. I have tried it a few times, and let me tell you, it is something else. The first time I put on a virtual reality headset, I felt like I had stepped into another world. It was not like looking at a screen. It was like being inside the experience. I played a game where I had to dodge obstacles, move my hands quickly, and react to things coming at me from all directions. And you know what? That felt real. My brain was not just thinking about what was happening. My body was reacting to it. I had to move, adjust my balance, and stay alert just like I would in real life. That got me thinking about something important. When you're young, your reflexes stay sharp because you are constantly using them. You are running, jumping, playing, and reacting to the world around you. But as people get older, they move less. They sit more. They stop putting themselves in situations where they have to react quickly. That is when the reflexes start to slow down. And this is where I think virtual reality might actually help in a way that brain training apps cannot. If it gets you moving, If it forces you to react the way you would in real life, then it is not just a game. It is training. I have read about studies that say playing certain virtual reality games can help improve balance, coordination, and even reflex speed. Some doctors are even using it to help older people regain their confidence in moving around, reducing the risk of falls. That makes sense to me. When you train your reflexes in an environment that feels real, your brain takes that training seriously. It is not just about tapping a screen. It is about moving your body and reacting in real time. That is the kind of training that can make a real difference. But here is something important that a lot of people do not talk about. Technology, no matter how advanced, is only as useful as the way you use it. A brain training app or a virtual reality game is not a magic fix. It is a tool. And like any tool, it only works if you use it correctly. If someone plays a brain training game but never challenges themselves in real life, I do not think they will see much benefit. If someone plays virtual reality games but never moves around outside of that, they are not going to see long-term improvement. What I have learned over the years is that the best way to keep your reflexes sharp is to keep living fully. Read books that challenge your mind. Play games that make you think. Have conversations that force you to use your memory and reasoning. Stay physically active, whether that means taking walks, dancing, or playing with your grandkids. And if technology helps you do those things, then by all means, use it. But do not let it replace real life. Because at the end of the day, the world outside the screen is where your reflexes really matter. So, could technology help improve reflexes and brain response time? Yes, but only if you use it wisely. Brain training apps can keep your mind engaged, but they are not a replacement for real-world thinking and problem solving. Virtual reality can create real movement and reaction training, but it should be part of a bigger effort to stay active in everyday life. The key is to use these tools as part of a full, engaged life, not as a substitute for it. I will leave you with this. If you want to keep your reflexes sharp, do not just rely on technology. Stay curious. Stay active. Keep moving. Keep learning. Technology can help. But the real secret to keeping your mind and reflexes strong is to keep living like you are not done yet. Because as long as you keep challenging yourself, your brain will keep responding. And that, my friend, is the best way to stay sharp, no matter how many years go by. What surprising or unconventional activities have been scientifically shown to improve reaction speed and cognitive sharpness in aging individuals? My dear friend, sit with me for a while. Let me tell you something that might just rattle the way you think about growing old. You see, people assume that aging means slowing down, that the mind stiffens like an old tree left too long in the cold. But I have learned something in my many years. The truth is, the mind does not have to dull. The body does not have to stumble. And the secret is not always found in the usual places. Science, that ever-curious beast, has been poking and prodding at the mysteries of our minds. And, the things it has uncovered. They're surprising, unconventional, even strange ways to keep the mind sharp and the reactions quick. Ways you might never expect. Take, for instance, video games. Now, I know what you are thinking. Those noisy, flashy things the young ones bury their faces in. But let me tell you, scientists have found that certain games, fast-paced action games, the kind that demand quick thinking and sharp reflexes, can actually improve reaction time and cognitive flexibility in aging individuals. There was a study not too long ago that took a group of elders and had them play a game designed to train the brain to switch between tasks quickly. The result? Those who played regularly outperformed their peers in tests of mental agility and response time. It is almost poetic. The very thing some elders scoff at, the thing they see as a waste of time, could be the key to keeping their minds nimble. And if video games are not shocking enough, what would you say if I told you that learning a new dance routine could sharpen the mind? Not just moving the body, mind you. Not the same old shuffle and sway. No, I mean learning an entirely new sequence of movements. Scientists have found that when older adults take up dance, especially dance that requires memory, coordination, and quick decisions, their brains light up with activity. The hippocampus, the very part of the brain responsible for memory, actually grows instead of shrinking. reaction times improve, cognitive sharpness increases, and best of all, it is joyful. There is something magical about moving with music, about feeling the rhythm guide you. It awakens something ancient in us, something powerful. Now, if dancing does not call to you, perhaps fencing might. Yes, fencing. That elegant, lightning-fast duel of minds and reflexes. Some studies have shown that older adults who take up fencing display remarkable improvements in reaction speed. Why? Because fencing forces the mind and body to react almost instantly. The brain has to process movements, predict actions, and make decisions in a fraction of a second. It is like high-speed chess played with the body. And here's the most astonishing part. The improvement in reaction time does not just apply to fencing itself. It carries over to everyday life. A quicker step to avoid a fall. A sharper mind to catch a mistake before it happens. The lessons learned with a blade in hand do not fade when the mask comes off. But perhaps you prefer something a little less physically demanding. If so, let me tell you about a remarkable little trick that scientists have discovered. It is as simple as changing the hand you use for everyday tasks. Brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand. Stirring your tea in the opposite direction. Writing clumsily at first with a hand that feels foreign to you. Studies have found that this simple act, this challenge to the brain, forces new neural connections to form. It keeps the mind adaptable, quick, ready to face the unexpected. It is a small, almost playful thing, but oh, the power it holds. And then there is something even stranger. Chewing gum. Yes, chewing gum. Scientists have found that chewing, especially something like gum, can actually improve reaction time. The act itself increases blood flow to the brain, particularly in areas responsible for focus and decision-making. It is as if the rhythm of chewing keeps the mind engaged. It is not the grandest of methods, not the most elegant, but if something so simple can sharpen the mind, why not take advantage of it? Now, my friend, let me tell you about something that might just be the most surprising of all. Have you ever heard of juggling? Not just for circus performers, not just for the nimble-fingered youth. Juggling, it turns out, is a powerful tool for sharpening the mind. When older adults take up juggling, even in the most basic form, they show significant improvements in hand-eye coordination. But more than that, their brains actually change. Gray matter, the very substance of thought and memory, expands. And here is the most beautiful part. It is never too late to start. Studies have found that even those who have never juggled a single ball in their lives can reap the benefits if they just begin. It is not about perfection. It is about the attempt. And what about laughter? Laughter, the most underrated medicine. Scientists have discovered that watching something genuinely funny, not just a chuckle, but a deep, belly-shaking laugh, can actually enhance cognitive function. It reduces stress hormones, increases dopamine, and improves problem-solving abilities. It makes the mind quicker, more flexible, and best of all, it feels wonderful. Some might say that growing old is serious business. I say that is nonsense. Laugh often. It is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to keep the mind young. Now, let me tell you something from my own life. Something that might not have been studied in a lab, but which I know to be true. Curiosity is the greatest weapon against decline. When you wake up each day with a hunger to learn something new, to challenge yourself, to step outside the familiar, you keep your mind alive. I have spent my years chasing knowledge like a man chasing the wind. And I will tell you this, the chase itself is what keeps me going. So, my friend, if you ever feel time creeping up on you, if you ever fear that your mind might slow or your reactions might dull, do not sit idly by. Pick up a game controller, learn to dance, fence with passion, juggle with reckless delight, switch the hand you write with, chew your gum and laugh from the depths of your soul. Keep moving, keep playing, keep learning. The secret to youth is not in resisting time. It is in embracing every wild, unexpected, joyful way to outweed it. And trust me on this, it works. If someone finds their reflexes slowing down, what is the most effective and immediate step they can take to regain mental sharpness and agility? My friend, You have noticed it, have you? That subtle shift. The moment when your hands do not move as quickly as they once did. When your mind takes just a beat longer to process a thought. It is a strange thing realizing that time is creeping in. That reflexes which once felt sharp as a blade now feel just a touch dull at the edges. I know this feeling well. I have seen it in others. I have felt it myself. But let me tell you something that many do not understand. Slowing down does not mean stopping. It does not mean surrendering. The body and mind can be sharpened again, made quick, made strong. And the most effective and immediate step you can take is simpler than you might think. Move. That is the answer. Move with purpose. Move with urgency. Move in a way that challenges both your body and your mind. The mistake most people make when they feel their reflexes slowing is that they allow themselves to slow further. They begin to hesitate. They let fear creep in. They start thinking too much instead of acting. And hesitation, my friend, is the enemy. If you want to regain sharpness, you must remind your body what it feels like to react, to trust itself, to be quick once more. There was a time when I felt myself slowing. My fingers were not as fast, my steps not as sure. I could have accepted it, could have sat back inside, saying, such is the way of things. But no, I would not allow it. So I did something that felt almost ridiculous at first. I started playing catch, not just lazily tossing a ball back and forth. No, I challenged myself, threw the ball against a wall, and tried to catch it as quickly as possible. Moved closer, moved farther, made the throws unpredictable, forced myself to react instead of anticipate. And do you know what happened? Within days, my hands felt quicker. Within weeks, my mind felt sharper. It was as if I had woken something up inside me that had only been sleeping. Now, if a ball is not to your liking, there are other ways. One of the most powerful things you can do to regain mental sharpness is to engage in something that requires both speed and precision. Drumming, for example. Even if you have never played before, even if you have no sense of rhythm, pick up 2 sticks, find a surface, start tapping, alternating hands, increasing speed. Force your brain to synchronize with your movements. It is a shock to the system, a challenge, but that is the point. The mind thrives on challenge, and the moment you demand speed from it, it will rise to meet you. And what a feat! Oh, do not forget the feet. Quick reflexes are not just about the hands, not just about the mind. They're about the entire body. If you want to be sharp again, you must move your feet as well. That is why dancing is such a powerful tool. Not slow, gentle swaying. No, you need something that makes you react. Something that forces your body to change direction in an instant. A dance with unexpected steps. Perhaps salsa. Perhaps swing. Anything that demands you stay alert, ready, responsive. And if dancing does not call to you, then shadowboxing will do just as well. Stand before a mirror. Move your hands. Move your feet. Strike. Dodge. React to your own movements. Feel the energy flow through you. You do not need to fight an opponent. You're fighting hesitation itself. But perhaps you want something even more immediate. Something you can do right now, this very moment. Then here's what I say. Test yourself. Close your eyes. Clap your hands as fast as you can for 5 seconds. Open your eyes. Did you feel it? That urgency? That energy? Now try it again, but this time, tap your fingers on a table as fast as possible. Do it again. Then stand up. Tap your feet in place as if running, as fast as possible for just a few seconds. These small bursts of speed wake the body up. Remind the mind what it feels like to move without hesitation. And if you wish to push yourself further, then add unpredictability. Have someone call out numbers at random, and with each number, change what you're doing. Clap, tap, step, react immediately. The key is not to let yourself think too much. The mind must trust the body. The body must trust the mind. It is hesitation that makes reflexes slow. It is hesitation that dulls us. But the moment you demand speed, demand reaction, something incredible happens. The mind sharpens, the body remembers. And do not underestimate the power of a good laugh. Strange as it may sound, laughter itself can help restore mental agility. A deep, full laugh sends waves of energy through the body. It loosens tension. It wakes the mind. If you feel yourself slowing down, find something that makes you laugh. Not just a quiet chuckle, a real, unrestrained laugh. You will be amazed at how it clears the fog from your thoughts. Now listen closely, my friend. If you have noticed yourself slowing down, do not waste time worrying about it. Worry is a thief. It will steal your sharpness faster than age ever could. Instead, act. Move. Demand speed from yourself, even in small ways. React to the world around you. Reach for something quickly. Change direction suddenly. Play. Challenge yourself. And most importantly, do not hesitate. The sharpness is still within you. It has not been lost. It has only been waiting for you to call upon it again. And the moment you do, you will find that it answers. If you like today's discussion, don't forget to like the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with every video we release. And yes, don't forget to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments. Every comment is special to us. Your feedback helps us improve further. We'll continue to meet you in every new video on this channel. So until next time, take care.